right, so let's move to Riku's before
Okay, good idea.
it gets too late. So Riku posts on here. Maybe it's not a good question for here, but I don't know. I shake my head. I always wanted to start singing, doing covers, etc. I really feel unsure about it and tell myself that I am not good without even starting at all. It took me years to buy a microphone, but I never really recorded something. And now I'm soon starting to take hormones and my voice will change. Should I even try or just give it up or something? I have a microphone, but I'm scared that I won't do well with a song that I really like. I have sung in front of people and it is nerve-wracking, but afterward, the reward is great.
Some in front of people is nerve-wracking, but after the work, got it.
Actually, one that looked like it was Kendra posted too.
Yeah.
Kendra's post was the one about having a microphone, and it's
that's right. Yeah. Kendra
yeah, so that's
in response to Riku.
Yeah, so and that's a really good answer because yes, it is nerve-wracking, but when you're done, you feel so good about it. So I'm glad that made its way there. But I tell you, Riku, I'll just say one thing before I turn it over to Ryan, and that is do it. You have a microphone, you want to do it, you want to sing, do it, and put it on bss.studio. We've got a place for fan covers, we got a place for all kinds of stuff for people to post, and bss.studio is a community of people that is so encouraging. I have never met any group of people like the people at bss.studio. If you're not a member there, you should go and register. It's free, unless you feel like getting an upgraded subscription to something or whatever. But just to register, it's totally free, and you can post whatever you want. You can do whatever you want there. So go there and put it there, and you will be among a group of people where you won't have to be worried about being looked down upon or anything like that, because everybody there is so stinking encouraging.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so do that. You're into BSS, yes. Put it there, and we would absolutely love to hear it. And if you post it, if you want to, go ahead and send me a private message when you do, because I would like to know when you post something.
Yeah.
You just click the little mail thing on there and just send me a quick message saying you posted something, because I don't always get to all the spots on the website. There's a lot going on right now, and things are pretty busy, but I'd really like to hear you sing. So Ryan, take it away.
Very nice. You said maybe this isn't a good question for here. No, it's an excellent question for here. We're here to hopefully encourage people and help them take the right actions in life as best we can. We don't know everything. We don't know all the answers. We can't even necessarily solve your problems. But all we can do is, just give you some words, and hopefully those words help you. A lot of times we talk from our own experiences. And in this case, I've had a lot of experience in this. When I first started writing music, I didn't want anybody to hear it because it's really awkward. Like, it's still awkward when your song is playing in front of somebody and they're listening to it and you're like, they're judging my music right now. And that's what I've asked them to do. And they're doing it. And it just feels awkward because I'm standing here doing nothing while they sit there and listen to my music doing nothing but that. And it's just weird.
Yeah.
But after it happens like 400 times, you start to just get used to it and embrace the moment and be like, yeah, it's awkward. What up? Like, that's fine. But even with singing, I didn't really start to try to become a professional singer. I didn't even practice singing or anything like that. I didn't take singing classes or anything until I was 18 years old, or no, 17 years old. Nope, 18. 18 is when I started. So it was like I was basically in my car and I realized, hey, if I'm going to be a composer, I'm going to need someone to sing my songs for me. And it'll be a lot easier to sing them myself than hire somebody out. all the time. So I just started to focus on trying to learn how to become a singer. And, you know, I spent a lot of time doing that. And it was really, you know, it's uneasy singing in front of people. You're always afraid of messing up and that kind of thing. Here's what I learned. The less I cared about messing up, the easier it became to sing. You know, you need to have confidence to sing, because if you're too unconfident in your singing, your voice and your strength in your vocal cords isn't all the way in. And because it's not all the way in, it's not all the way committed, it holds back and you don't sing as well. So you have to have that confidence. And so I'm just confident that I'm going to mess it up, because I am. I never played the piano without messing it up. I always throw a wrong note in there every single time. I never sing without messing it up. I always throw a wrong note in there multiple times.
You mess it up real good, though.
Yeah, thanks. So it's, you know, that's what's important. You got to sound human, right? That's what's human. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, that mistake was a mistake. He's just showing that where he's human, you know, and that's what right. Feel. That's part of the music, you know. But you know what? Here's the thing. The purpose of you singing is not to impress people. If you sing because you want to impress people, then it's always going to be hard. And it's always going to make you nervous.
And it's always going to be empty.
That's right. That's true. That's true. Because your emotions aren't in the right spot. So don't worry about whether you're impressing somebody when you're singing. Even if you're going to be judged and you go in front of a panel and they're judging you to see if you impress them, because they want to know if you get hired for the role or whatever it is. If you go with the intention to impress people, a lot of times you're going to be way too nervous and you're going to have the wrong attitude and you're going to mess up and they're not going to like you. You can hit every note right, but if your attitude is off in your singing, you didn't do a good job. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. You know, when I noticed, like, here's a tip, a professional singing tip that no one talks about. Your attitude and your techniques are almost just as important as your pitch. You can hit all the pitches, but if you have no attitude behind it, if you're singing the words, but you're just like, you know, like, oh, the water is cold. Oh, it hurts my skin. And this is the song. You know, it's like, yeah, you got all the pitches, but it's a lot different than when you're like, the water is cold. It hurts my skin. You know, you have feeling behind it. If you had your attitude in the right spot, people are going to enjoy the piece a lot more. So that's really important. It's more important to actually get into the music and to cause people to have joy and emotions than it is to impress people. So that's my start. Don't try to impress people. So just put yourself out there and let people down. And people will be like, wow, this person's terrible at singing. Here's the thing. Some people are going to like your voice. Some people aren't. Some people like my music. Some people don't. Some people like my voice. Some people don't. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't matter, because that's just the way it is. Some people like it. Some people don't. I don't get to pick that. That's their opinion. And some people are going to hear your vocals and go, wow, this person's like the best thing in the world. And some people are going to listen to it and go, wow, you sound so screechy. And, you know, this is the worst thing I've ever heard. Stop singing. Please never open your mouth again. Like, people will say things like that, especially on the internet, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yes.
So here's
not at BSS.studio, they won't.
But not at BSS.studio. No one's going to say that, because everyone at BSS.studio is amazing. And we aren't paying them to be that way. They're just that way. It's awesome. But so here's the thing.
That's why we release all of our music at BSS.
That's exactly, because we know we can't be insulted, right? It's like, no. First of all, your talents don't amount to who you are. They're just a small part of you, and they're part of what you can do on the earth with yourself, what you can add to the world. But if people don't like what you add to the world, that's not your fault. You're just doing what you can do. And that's all you can do. And so don't ever be upset if someone doesn't like what you got. Another thing is, if you put this out here on YouTube or whatever, and people say they like it, always try to remind yourself that they're liking it doesn't mean that they like you. You have to separate yourself from your art. You have to remember that this piece of art is something I drew, but it's not who I am. Sure, I put my soul, heart, emotions, thoughts into this piece of art. But if someone doesn't like it, that doesn't mean they don't like who I am. And that doesn't change who I am inside. It doesn't change anything about me. It just shows me that they don't like that, and that's fine. They don't have to like everything. You know, if here's the problem, because I've fallen into this before. I see a lot of people fall into this. If you read the good comments and they make you feel really good, when you read the bad comments, they'll make you feel really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to look at the nice comments, and it's okay to feel good about them, but understand that those comments, even though they're nice, they have nothing to do with who you are as a human being. They have nothing to do with your value. They have nothing to do with how amazing of a person you are. So when someone says something bad, it's the same. That has nothing to do with me. It's just you're critiquing my work, and I appreciate it. Like, I'm glad now I know that you don't like it. Cool. Doesn't really change who I am. Doesn't affect how valuable I am. It doesn't affect how hard I worked on the song. And honestly, I like it, so I don't care what you think. You know?
Right.
Here, I guess another thing is, if you're not sure that you like it, don't put it up for other people to listen to. But if you listen to it and you like it yourself, or maybe you're not sure, maybe you're like, I don't know if this is good or not, you know, have other people listen to it, people you trust, see what they have to say about it, and then just put it out there. The thing is, like, everybody starts out hating their own vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody I've ever talked to that's a singer, including myself, they hated the way their voice sounds. They listen to their own songs and they're like, this sounds unprofessional because it's me. And I don't like the sound of my voice.
Well,
like,
it doesn't sound the same as what it sounds like in your head.
Yeah.
Like when you sing it, it doesn't sound the same as when it's going to be recorded and you're going to hear a playback of it. It does not sound the same.
Right. That's so true.
It's different.
Mm-hmm. And you're always going to hear yourself and be like, man, I wish I sounded like that other guy because he sounds way cooler than me. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Some people will listen to the other guy and be like, yeah, right, you sound way better than him. I like your voice better. What are you talking about? Because everyone has their own taste, even you. And your taste probably isn't going to be yourself, and that's okay. The more you sing...
That's the quote of the day right there.
Your taste isn't going to be yourself, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The more you do it, the more you just get used to it. And at some point, you're going to start actually liking and appreciating your own voice. Because here's the thing. At some point, you're going to realize you need to be thankful for the voice you've been given. Mm-hmm. Because your voice is a gift to you. You didn't get to pick it, but it was given. And you get to use it. Maybe to change other people's lives. That's amazing. And it's something that only you have. And it was a gift. So at some point, you're going to come to terms with your voice and say, this voice isn't half bad. It's not bad. And at some point, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm glad I have that voice. That's my voice. Thanks. Thanks, God. I appreciate that. So, yeah, it's completely normal what you're going through. But you got to put yourself out there. The more you start allowing other people to hear you, the more confident you'll grow in allowing other people to hear you. And the more confident your singing will become, and the faster you'll get along the journey of, I hate my voice, to, I think my voice is okay, to, hey, my voice isn't bad. I kind of like it. You know, you just have to start the journey and you'll get from one place to another. I think the path is pretty much the same for every singer in that regard. So yeah, I know I spoke a lot, but I'm going to let Joe say whatever he has to conclude with.
Yeah, no, that was what Ryan said was absolutely true. Every singer goes through that. There's some degree of audio production that goes into things that can definitely help. There are some tools in audio production that go a long way to helping. And sometimes it takes a while to figure out how to get all that to work with your voice. And once you kind of get the hang of how that works, then you can, it gets pretty easy to do that with anybody's voice, not just your own. But then you can easily work with anybody's voice and make it bring out the best elements of their voice. It's not like you make their voice sound good, because you can't ever take something bad and make it sound good. That was one of the things I learned in audio production in a course that I took recently, where it was like, the key is the song. If the song isn't any good, you're not going to make a bad song a hit song. The song itself has to be good. And then you just, as the audio producer, you just kind of get out of the way of it and let it shine. You just kind of maybe clean it and, shape it just a little bit, and then let the world experience it. But I tell you, like Ryan said, your voice is a gift to the world, and we would love to hear that. So please sing something and post it. We'd love to hear it. The nerve-wracking, I'll tell one quick story about that. And it was actually the first project that Ryan and I worked together on. And this was a mostly instrumental songs. There were some that had some lyrics on them, and we didn't know much. We were just kind of getting going on all this stuff. And on audio production, I knew a little bit of stuff. Ryan knew a little bit, and we just kind of worked together, and it took us forever. And we worked on this thing for like months, because both of us were working full time. We didn't have any time. It was just crazy. And we just poured every spare moment we had into this. And we were on Skype all the time talking. How are you doing this? I don't know. How are you doing it? Well, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We're just sharing stuff back and forth. It was a crazy project. And it was nuts, because I remember when it was finally done, it was at the very tail end. And we'd done this project for a leadership development company, and they were going to be they were going to be playing the music over the loudspeakers in the stadiums at these big events that they have with like thousands of people, and they're going to be playing this recording in front of all these people. And I remember the first time they played it. And we walked into the room, and they're playing the stuff that we had just spent months creating. We walked into this room, and we looked around, and there's like 4,000 or 5,000 people in this arena. We're looking around at everybody, and our music is playing over the loudspeakers in front of all these people, and they have no idea who we are. They have no idea who created it. None whatsoever. And so I'm looking around at different people, and I'm looking for people that are going, oh, this is terrible, but nobody really cared. I don't think. I just look around, and I think it was just, hey, another day, another stuff playing over the loudspeakers. I'm trying to have a conversation with my buddy, and the music's kind of going in the background, whatever. But I remember when I walked into that room, I wanted to like hide and vomit and pee my pants and cry all at the same time.
I think I did do all those things. So no, I'm just kidding. That sounds like a lot of excretion.
Everything just, and I was sweating. So that was like the last little bit of it. But so the nervousness is completely normal. Unexpected, and it's okay. And those experiences that you have are going to go into who you are becoming. At this point right now, I would say that it's more important for you to do it and finish it, no matter what the result is. than any other thing, because it's going to give you the experience, and it's going to empower you no matter what happens. If you put something out and it flops, you did it. You worked at it and you finished it, which that, when you can get in the habit of finishing, that's so huge. That will go so far into any area of your life. If you think you have this idea and the very thing that you're battling, if you battle it and win, now you've got a victory under your belt of you fighting yourself. You've fought back your fear. You fought back your nervousness. You fought back all of that stuff, and you won in that moment. Now, here's the thing. You're going to have another moment later. You're going to have another opportunity to be afraid. You have another opportunity to be nervous and to be held back by your fear. That opportunity will come again and again and again. And the more times you take those experiences and fight it and win at it, even no matter the result. The result is inconsequential. It does not matter. The thing that matters is that you fought it back and you finished it anyways. You make that a habit, you're eventually going to have stuff that, you know, the results are going to be great and they're going to be awesome. So yeah. That's why I would say do it. Do it, yeah. do it. Riku, please do it. And send it to us, because, you know, our audience is so loving. And we'll just be happy that you put something out. I will be your biggest cheerleader just because of the fact that you fought back your nervousness and you did it anyway. Mm-hmm. Regardless of how it comes out. You start somewhere. I remember listening to Ryan's first stuff, and it was, you know, like anybody's first stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. Like it is now. I will not say it's terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
What it was it had, I remember the very first time listening to it, and I had the ability, because I'd done studio work before, and so I knew how things progress and, you know, what things in the early stages sound like and all that. But there was the kernel of the potential of the growth of what we see now in Static P. Those early moments, even though it wasn't as polished, even though it wasn't quite as professional, even though it wasn't there, he had these basics down. And the fact that he had put together this whole CD of stuff. He had put together, I don't know how many songs, was it 3 or 4 or 5, something on that?
I don't remember. Yeah.
That one CD that we listened to in the car in the snowstorm.
Yeah. 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 It was all like MIDI. It was it was great.
Yeah, it was
I don't know how many songs, but yeah.
But he did it, and the very fact that he had put it together was the thing that spoke the most to me, because I was like, hey, I remember those moments of thinking, am I good enough? I don't know if I'm good enough to do this kind of stuff. I don't know if I can actually do this. Who is a songwriter? I mean, really, that's only for those kinds of people, and I'm not that. All that stuff that people told me throughout growing up, you know, oh, only lucky people get to be that. Only people who, you know, no, it's not. But
a lot more play out than luck, yeah.
Yep. So just do it.
Yeah.
And do it again, and then do it again. And those victories are going to build more confidence in you than you can even imagine right now. Even though right now it's scary and intimidating, and it's this big looming thing in front of you. You fight it a little bit by a little bit, do it, and win, and start chalking up those victories. Before you know it, you'll be beating back huge giants of fear. And you won't even break a sweat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Just to hit on what Joe said once more, be a finisher. Just be someone who finishes the project. And by the way, it's not finished until it's out in the world for people to hear. That's when it's finished. Because you might think you finished the song and it's recorded and everything, and you've got everything sounding nice. Still not finished because no one's heard it yet.
It's not public. That's one of the things in my
If you can,
I put in my little goal segment when I do all my organizing stuff. I had a goal on there. I was like, I'm going to complete this project, and then underneath I had on there, it doesn't count if it's not public.
Yeah, right. It's true. It's true. You have to finish it. I'll tell you what, if you just finish what you start, you'll be in the top 5% of people in the world. Because plenty of people start things. But if you can fight those fears, fight all of the issues that happen from start to finish, because there's a lot of them. And, you know, a lot of people have a hard time working up the emotions or the motivation to actually finish something, or the ideas to actually finish something. A lot of times people start with a story and it's like the story's going great. And then in the middle, it's like, I don't know if I like the story anymore. Sometimes we write songs and we don't even know if we like the song anymore.
Most of the time I hate the song. By the time it's done, I hate it.
Yep. Yeah. But we finish it. And when it's finished, it goes public. And then we get surprised. We're like, people like this? I hate it. That's awesome. I'm glad people like this. This is great. You don't really hate it, but you wouldn't publish it if you absolutely despised it. If you didn't think it sounded good enough. But still, yeah, you get to a point where like, I don't even want to listen to it anymore. I'm just gonna let other people listen to it because I'm done. I'm done listening to that, you know? And the same thing comes with writing a story. Same thing comes with drawing art or painting. You know, if you can finish something, you've done something incredible. So, and just like Joe said, oh my gosh, I didn't start where I am now. Okay. Some of you people think that I'm good. And in 10 years, you might listen to my stuff and be like, man, he was terrible back then. He's good now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
if I can, yeah. And 10 years ago, trust me, like if you heard my stuff and I was posting my stuff I was making 10 years ago on YouTube, you would be like, okay, this guy will never make it. He's not that great. Like, it's pretty bad. I mean, let's be honest. It's pretty bad. Like the quality.
That first one, Heinrich Feinzel or something.
Yeah, probably.
Heinrich Heinzel something or other. It was great. It was like this power metal song. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, all my stuff was power metal.
Yeah,
like
MIDI power metal.
MIDI power metal. You had the guitars that like. It's amazing. I still like those songs though. Here's the thing. I like those songs. They've got great melodies, great style, but they're totally like, if you listen to the quality, you're like, wow, I don't think I would ever put that on my iPod or whatever, you know, I'd never listen to it. Just because the quality is so bad. This will never make radio. Right. But regardless, you finish a project, you start finishing projects over and over and over. And eventually you'll just get good. Because here's the thing, no one starts out amazing with any talent. You just get good. You get better and better. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yep.
I wish you the best.
Yes. And do it, please. Please.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. Pretty please. With sugar on top. Please. Continue.
Cool.
Anyway, awesome. Thank you for asking. That was such a great question, Riku.